The night, the roaring night, born of pure darkness, and the one who makes with blackened knife. Opposed by the child of the pale king, the one who unified the void and did what the king could not, kill a god. The purest darkness against unified void. Who will win this dispute? Well, you're about to find out on this episode of Hello, my name is Concept, and welcome to Unlikely Rivals, a series where I'm going to be putting together matches/fights of characters that I think would be very interesting to see happen. I wanted to do this mainly because I haven't really seen these talked about, and I'd like to analyze them and see how they would play out. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first, let's talk about the Roaring Knight's feats. Also, from this point on, I'm just going to start calling them RK for short. So for speed, RK is pretty fast from what we've seen at the end of chapters 4 and 5 when they dodge Susie's Root Busters and when they outrun Flowery. So I think it would be safe to put him at like a superhuman level of speed. Now for durability, RK is a pretty durable person, being able to take multiple Root Busters at a time, and not to mention when the Knight was able to completely nullify damage taken from Flowery. Or RK just took the damage, but I'm opting for the latter. So I'd put them at around country to continent level of durability. But attacks are where things get crazy. RK's attacks include throwing stars that explode into tiny sharp pieces, summoning an almost infinite amount of swords, throwing swords so fast that you can't see them when they're thrown, and striking with a really big sword, doing it really fast. And that weird move with the teeth. Oh, and that's not to mention the final attack, which, come on, do I really have to say anything? And the cherry on top is the fact that even if you get past all of that, they still have a Titan in their back pocket if all things go south. So I'd put their strength at like star to solar system level. In total I'd put their power level at around galaxy, maybe higher, but we haven't seen their full potential yet. Now let's talk about the Knight's feats. The Knight's speed can vary. If you have the Dash Master and Sprint Master, then the Knight's speed increases drastically. And if you factor in the Crystal Dash, then things get kinda complicated. I saw in a video that the fastest the Knight can get across the longest part of the kingdom, Distant Village to Kingdom's Edge, is 5 minutes. So I feel like it would be appropriate to put him at around like country level of speed. I think that sounds fair. The durability of the Knight is definitely something. First of all, the Knight on his own can survive long falls with no damage, can survive swings that have the force of a truck, can get hit as hard as any being can hit and barely get staggered, and once they are hit, then they get a small window of invulnerability. That window can be extended by charms. And on top of all that, the only real things that can hurt the Knight are godlike beings. So I think it's fair to put him on like a moon to planet level of durability. The Knight's strength. Where do I begin? So to begin with, his nail, Pure Nail, can one-shot weaker enemies, make quick work of beginner bosses, and when you learn all the nail arts, you basically have a Swiss Army knife of damage at your disposal. Not to mention that with charms like Unbreakable Strength and Quick Slash, you can deal more damage and a whole lot faster. And that's not even factoring in spells. With things like Shade Soul, the Knight gets far ranged attack, Descending Dark lets the Knight body slam enemies while getting a smaller hitbox, and Abyss Shriek lets the Knight hit enemies above him with more damage. Oh, and remember the thing I said about RK having the Titan in their pocket? Well, the Knight has something like that too, but unlike RK, the Knight can control this one. The Shade Lord, the final form of the Knight. The Knight could easily take down gods without breaking a sweat. The only reason that the Knight went into its final form was to flex. So, I'm gonna put the Knight in universe level of strength. I really want to put him higher, but I'm just gonna play it safe for now. So, who do I think would win? I'm gonna have to give it to the Knight. While I do think the Roaring Knight is strong, I don't think that the Roaring Knight could beat the Knight on its own. If you factor in the Titan, then I might give it to the Roaring Knight, but by itself, I don't think it could win. Thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry if this stuff was kinda off, it's my first time really power scaling. Next time on Unlikely Rivals.
Stand ready for my arrival, worm.